everyone, this is Dapper from TECHECONOMY and this is TECHECONOMY TV. Today's conversation promises to be exciting because, I'm big on the conversation we're about to have because I feel like in as much as we focus on the bad, mostly in Nigeria, good things are still happening right now. And talking about good things, do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on notification bell. This is TECHECONOMY TV and follow us across all our social media platforms. So basically, the conversation today is about the red line that was just commissioned by the governor of Lagos State, and it just looks cool. And I saw that it could take you all the way from Agbado to Marina, and I think that's exciting news. That's great news. And like when we're on this side, I always bring people to come and talk to us about these things and people that will shed more light about all these conversations. So with me today, I have Mr. Toby from editorial, and we're going to have a conversation about this. And one very important thing is because he wrote an article about this story. So Mr. Toby, how are you doing, sir?
I'm very fine. It's always a pleasure to be here, and let me congratulate you for the good work you've been doing. And I think the masses also, the good work you are doing is also resonating very well with the masses. So thank you.
Do you see yourself becoming a politician one day? Because you sound like a...
Very well. I read political science for my first and second degree, so I was trained to talk and I was trained to lead.
Trained to talk, trained to lead. All right, so let me start the conversation majorly. So let's sink straight into action. First of all, what's the benefits of the red line for Lagosians generally?
First off, let me congratulate Lagosians for that landslide achievement. Of course, we need to understand the fact that one of the major problems in Lagos State is transportation. And it is not peculiar to Lagos State, as it were. Every developed state or mega state or metropolis, if you like, always find itself in such a situation. But we need to give it also to the governor, who is far-sighted. And I think since 2022, when the idea was conceived, or when the governor himself was outside of the country to bring the first set of train the red line to Lagos, and since that, the government and the governor, so to say, has been up and doing. So what we saw on October 15, 2024, last week, like you have rightly said, is just accumulation of event and effort that the government has been putting in place over time. That's what we see. Also, when we want to talk about the opportunities and the benefits that it's availed to Lagosian, you don't understand or know the efficacy or importance of a seconds until you miss a flight. If you once miss a flight, you will know that a seconds is very, very important. So in terms of key deliverables, in terms of social services, people may lose so many things to transportation debacle or challenge, as the case may be. So this is going to solve first the problem of transportation, and especially, like you have rightly pointed out, that the red line is going to be convening people right from Agbado to Ebutimeta, Marina, among others, Oshodi. When you look at the strategic location of all those places, you will understand the fact that the masses, larger number of people teach towards that environment. And as a matter of fact, those folks walk majorly on the highland, Lagos, they call it mainland and highland. So it's going to be an easy ride for them. It's going to dose the tension. It's going to also solve the problem of insecurity, so to say. And again, it is going to facilitate economic development, because where people come to board the train, they are going to buy one or two things. People will be, exchange of goods and services will have to take place there. So it's an interwoven kind of goodies that revolve around the subject matter of red line. So let's give it to the governor, and we hope that we're going to maximize all the benefit that through there is.
So let's take it. I would like to take it from the perspective of terms of like environmental safety, environmental health, climate, whatever. I know I read it somewhere, I think 2 months ago, on how Lagos is trying to decongest the amount of vehicles on the road, and I think it was the downfall buses conversation,
yes.
And how they were going to sideline some kind of vehicles from a particular year to another year. So do you think these are efforts that the Lagos State government is making to make sure these other policies that he has a cushion? There's an alternative for setting those policies. And why I'm saying that, because of a lot of people say, the government, President Tinubu's government took out fuel subsidy without alternatives. There was nothing in place before you took out the subsidy. You understand? So do you see this red line as a means to an end to the amount of vehicles on Lagos Road, or the risk in transportation?
Well, let me say that Lagos State government will not just wake up one day and implement a policy or carry out an action without minding the fact that it has been well thought out. The first subject you mentioned, that there is an alignment, or there is a kind of straight line connection between the two. When the rail line has already commenced operation, October 15, there are tendencies that the numbers of buses, maybe call it danfo, call it private car, will actually reduce.
Yes.
And that is going to actually not only ease the tension around and among the Lagosians, it's also going to help the atmosphere itself and the environment totally. So if we say that, although the government does not come out in clear terms and tell us that, or told us rather, that this is why we are doing this, but we could always connect the dots, that if a majority of people that are coming from Agbado, coming from all those stations we have mentioned, could be transported, to Lagos early in the morning and then get back to their respective destination later in the day, then there is an event on there is a better side of that equation, to Lagosian, to Lagos State, and even to the environment itself, even when the government has not come out in clear cut terms. So for me, I want to believe that Lagos State is being, far-sighted, being futuristic about the whole thing. So there could be a connection. The government, don't forget, the government has not come out and told us or tell us, but we can always connect the dots and say that there are connections between the two.
All right. So when I go to London, sometimes you see that half the time a lot of people stay real far, stay in neighboring state, but they work in London. Do you understand? Because of some people will say that's an economic capital, things of some sort, because of the population, the amount of jobs you can get from that. So I think that's also a plus, and I think Lagos is also a mega city, like you stated earlier. And what benefits, or let me come from this angle. What benefits does it have to what's it called, to all these other areas that are not I don't know if Agbado is populated. Do you understand? I don't know what the standards of living is like in Agbado, but do you see a lot more development in all those suburbs?
Yes, there is definitely going to be a lot of development. I've not been to London before, just like you have claimed that you have traveled. I don't know where London is. So, but like you have said that, there is what is called develop majorly the economic district, and as Lagos is, just like we have mentioned, that is the economic hub of Nigeria, and by extension even West Africa. Anything you are doing around that you have not said in Lagos, you have not started, as the case may be. So that has made people actually by fire, by force, that's permitted, to want to live in Lagos. And it's not supposed to be so. That you are working in Lagos does not mean you should stay in Lagos. But if you are not to stay in Lagos, it actually presupposes that there must be an efficient, transportation system that will convey you to Lagos and take you back to a destination, which will actually be all these suburbs we have been talking about. Let's say Agbado, let's say even as far as Ogun State, like Songo, among others. So it's going to facilitate development, like I've rightly pointed out, because people want to get accommodation in that area.
Yes.
When you get an accommodation in an area, definitely you want to eat, you are going to buy food, you are going to buy fuel. A lot of things is going to happen there that have, that are connected to individual. Anywhere a man lives, a man himself is an economic being. Anywhere he lives, a lot of things revolve around the man. So wherever, especially those stations that has been mentioned, Yaba, Mushin, all those so-called maybe music station or bus stop or something, a lot of things need to happen there. All those suburbs too, like let's say Songo, just mention a lot of all those places. it's going to facilitate economic development, which is going to be to the advantage of those people living there, and it's also going to be to the advantage of Lagos, because people will not have to struggle all the way, to get accommodation by fire, by force. So you can, for instance, you can stay in, let's say you can stay in Ogun State, and you can be working at Marina, because you are very sure that red light is going to come by at 6 a.m. and you are there at point. It takes you to the place, and when you are done with your work, you are very sure that you are going to get the same by the same means you are going to get back to your place. And also it also speaks to the fact that all these unannounced spike in prices of transportation, like it's very familiar with our brothers that drives Danfo. Like you come in the morning 500, and when you are going it says 15. There are no explanation or justification for that. That is going to address that, because this red line is a joint effort by the private initiative and the state government. So you cannot just come and hike any price and without prior notice. So it's a win-win thing for.
All right. So finally, do you see any disadvantages for this red line?
For now, I can't say this is the disadvantage as the case may be, but there are no good side of anything that doesn't have good side. For me, I will be just charging the government to look at the area of security. Because people are going to join the bus like 6 a.m. Lagosian and their strategy. Even when you are going out in the morning, you have to look sideways. So I want to charge the government and the private sector that facilitates this initiative to ensure that the safety of people, their life and their property is guaranteed, so that will not discourage people. And I want to also charge the government that they should ensure that this initiative cut across, as it were, not only all those stations. Of course, the government is being strategic. I want to believe that, but it's the government to share as much as possible to ensure that such effort, if not in exactly what we have now, should be replicated also across or within the Lagos state, to ensure that traffic or hold up like we see on the streets is being eased, and that will also facilitate the economic development.
Because I mean, traffic, the amount of time Lagosians spend in traffic, sometimes you could be productive at that point in time.
It's crazy. So
I was going to bring in the whole CNG conversation, but I don't really think, because I know the train is powered by diesel.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know if there are trains that are powered by electricity or something.
We don't have it now in Nigeria.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Toby, for joining the conversation.
Yes.
It was all robust. So you already have the pros, and you already heard from the perspective of Mr. Toby himself, the expert, how government needs to put security in place because of timing. And one thing I will also say is comfort also matters. I don't want to remember people who start hawking in the train.
That which is very common to Lagosian.
Yeah.
Or some uninvited preachers.
Exactly. So
government also need to work on that, so that you don't be selling Bible and Quran and all those stuff and then you'll be using your own to avert others who doesn't believe in what you believe. Government need to work on that.
That's another conversation entirely. So I'm not going to start calling people that do those prayers in the morning.
I have already called them, so that's nothing else.
All right, thank you for. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn the notification bell. We'll try and get you people from. Probably we'll do a tour one day of the train station very soon, and maybe sometime next month, and we'll just make a video and you guys can see what the train station
definitely
is like. All right, thank you. Till next time, like, share, subscribe, and turn the notification bell. Don't forget, this is TECHECONOMY TV. Till next time, peace out.